here's what's happening, okay? I brought my beautiful 12-year-old daughter, Arden, why don't you wave? Hey, what's up? I told her today we're going to the beach, she had her boogie board, everything ready to go, and then we walked into here and I totally fooled her. But what a beautiful day to be in Huntington Beach. What an honor to be in front of you. I've had a storied relationship with Ware Malcomb. Many of you I've known over the years. It's like a friendship, it's like a family. So I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving right now giving a keynote speech. So my whole thesis today is about my network, okay? So people know me for the relationships that I've built over the years. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the DNA and the strategy that I've used over the years to evolve these relationships, because we all know in business it's not just about what you know. You guys are all skill set, designers, architects, interior, exterior. All that's important, but without the relationship, it's never going to get there. It's not going to drive the business, it's not going to grow the revenue, which is obviously something that's important as well. So I always like to talk about the root before I go into the tree, okay? Where did all this come from? It came from great parents. My parents were migrants from Turkey. You're probably wondering what the tallest man in the world is doing in that photo. I got friends that are short and tall. So I'm in public relations, and one of the stunts we did was we brought the tallest man in the world. I speak Turkish, and he's Turkish. And we brought him to San Clemente, and we had his teeth redone because the pituitary gland in there was what was stunning his growth and actually killing him. So we had him fixed in San Clemente, but I had him for a week. Could you imagine that? The tallest man in the world. Took him to Pretend City, I took him to Disneyland, I took him out in the ocean in Dana Point. It was awesome. He's such a great guy. And then we brought him over to our house, and he loves Mexican food, we found out. My father has been very instrumental, so he was a professional soccer player, and I have a team mentality. And of course, my wife, Kai, who's really taken all the crazy edges off of me and really helped refine what's happened over the years, and my daughter, Arden, and my son, Archer. So we're very blessed. On the professional and personal front as well, I've got two mentors. One's older than me, and one's younger. Can you guess which one's the older one? So Larry actually is my next door neighbor in San Clemente, right? And I was doing some remodeling to my house, and then I was introduced to Larry, and then from there we became friends. And then I realized, wow, my business, your business, and that evolved. And it's become like a father, son, a brother. It's a spirit that I can't define, but only God and maybe my parents brought Larry into my life, but it's been absolutely invaluable. When you reinvent yourself through your life, you get better and stronger. I credit people like Larry. Also, Palmer Luckey, who I was introduced to about 9 years ago in Orange County. I first met him on the cover of Time magazine because I was in San Francisco airport. I'm like, I want to meet you. What are you doing in Orange County? How do I not know you? And sure enough, God again, brought us together. We started talking, we became friends, and we built an incredible relationship. And he's as much a mentor to me, being almost half my age, as Larry is to me. So think about it. Younger people than you can be just as much a mentor as the people older than you. So I've been in business for 30 years. I'm 50 years old now. I started my company when I was 19. We're now one of the largest public relations firms in the state of California. I also founded the Internet Marketing Association, which is a trade public association with over 1 million professionals. We host a conference every year called Impact. We also have a TV show called Impact Show, which we're filming today. And it's just great. I'm able to touch people wide, but also intimately in these sort of settings. And that sort of thought leadership resonates in building a network, and I'll get into that. And then I also own the International Executive Council, which is a YPO-style group in Southern California. We meet once a month, and we do awesome events, and I'll kind of go into that. Two decades ago, I had an idea to bring people together in a special place to share, to connect, to dream. You are the dreamers and the doers. No means yes. Yes means what's next. And when life zigs, well, you zag. You make the impossible possible. You are the entrepreneurs, the risk takers. You have a degree in failure and a master's in success. You swing for the fence every day. You're givers, not takers. And you live your lives with no regrets.
This is lovely.
You are not alone. Welcome to Impact 22, Success Shared. that demonstrates to you a little bit about bringing people together. And these could be celebrities, thought leaders, founders, venture capital. Everyone is striving to meet people. And that's an example of a network that I built from absolutely nothing. Over 157,000 professionals have come to our conferences, have joined our online events, and we've built a community over 1 million people. I'm all about helping people get to where they need to go. So as an orchestra conductor of brilliance, I've been able to manifest my own super network. And this is an example. I met Scott Boatwright, the CEO of Chipotle. I wasn't even hungry. I was just like so excited to meet him, not talk about burritos or anything about his recipes. I wanted to talk about him. What motivates you? It's never about, oh, what's it like running a $78 billion company? How rich are you? Tell me about your yacht. I'm so impressed by your jet. Never once crossed my mind. And so that sort of relationship turned into an opportunity. The only known interview in the history of time with Scott Boatwright took place a month ago at the Pacific Club. I invited him. I said, look, I got about 150 people. I want to just talk to you about GMO. I want to talk about expansion. Like, what do you do in taking a Mexican restaurant and expanding in Mexico? Like, seriously? Are they going to take you serious? That's his strategy. So we unpacked that. And now that relationship is turning into all sorts of great outcomes for people that I don't even know that are connecting with him through our community. So it's not just what you know, your technical skills, it's the relationships that you have. There's been many times Scott has texted me on personal questions here and there, vice versa. Those relationships are invaluable. Tell me a little bit about your background. Now, when people say that, don't go straight to where you went to school and where you worked and what material business thing comes to mind. People really care about you. Like, tell me what drives you. I know what drives Larry. He loves Pilates. Ken likes taking Corvettes and making them electric. Ted likes chessboards. And it's these sort of things, right? I've known Ruth for over a decade. I always talk to her about KCOMM. I talk to her about her children. I know the things that motivate her. If you stay focused on that, you won't believe what will come, okay? You send a Christmas card, they're gonna send you a brand new car. So those are the things that you should prepare yourself for. When people ask about your background, talk about your cultural heritage, talk about where you travel, talk about the things that truly motivate you. Give it away, give it away, give it away now, right? Red Hot Chili Peppers made a ton of money with that song. It inspired me. Because when I wanted to get in with Elon Musk, when I wanted to get in with Larry Armstrong and Palmer Luckey and all the people, I always gave it away for free. Give away your services for free. If you really want to aspire to build a network with somebody or a community, give something away to them. You know, you have domain expertise. You guys are geniuses. Take your domain expertise and pay it forward. And then build a relationship. And that relationship will procure and turn into something. Address people by their motivating factors. Do you like yoga, travel, spirituality, pets, religion? It's okay. All this is okay to talk about. Do not separate business and pleasure, okay? I don't believe in that. It should be one lane. You guys are all professionals. We're at that 50-yard line in life, okay, except for my daughter. She's like at the 10-yard line. You know, think about who you are and think about what these people, who they are and what they represent, what motivates them. It's okay to talk about those things during business calls. You know how Zooms always start, like you talk about the weather. No one really cares about the weather, right? Talk about like something about them. It's okay to do that. It's okay to walk up to the line. Don't cross the line. Don't give them advice, but just ask them how things are going on something that matters to them. It could be a health issue. This is important to understand because it's that sort of connection that's going to widen and deepen the network and the relationship. Communication is also key. I've tried to make eye contact with everyone in here, even though I can't really see. By the way, the FDA just approved, get this, are you ready for this? Brace yourself. It's eye drops that cure your vision, okay? This happened yesterday, and I can't wait to use them because now I don't need LASIK, that terrifies me. But really think about communication. So volume, pitch, your expressions, your look, your hygiene. How many times have you been around somebody that's communicating with you and you're just like, wow, that person is a slob. Like, did they not even think about what they were wearing today? Or like, did they not even take the courtesy to think about the environment that they're in? That will help you build a network, and it's really important to understand that. Etiquette is also important. Look at that guy, Larry Armstrong. Mr. Etiquette right there. He said he was coming here to pick on me, but he doesn't have a microphone. And by the way, all these slides will be sent to you, so you don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to think about it. We're going to send it to you, okay? You know, think about the time that you've been at NAOP or a conference or something, and you just see someone getting bombed at the bar and making a complete ass out of themselves, okay? That's a place you never want to be, because all that creation of network, that house of cards you're working so hard on in your career and your life, you just took that bottom card out. It might not collapse, but it's sure going to get weak. And that's something to really remember. I took a cotillion class in college, and the little things like bread and the drink, you know, I do this even to this day. because I don't want to grab someone else's water. It sucks. Learn a wine list. Learn how to host. Be generous. Those etiquette pieces will help build and deepen your network. Risks is a big part of taking your network to the next level. When I was 11 years old and I bought my first ALR computer, I learned in DOS how to build games, basic software, and that's what created the modern version of our agency. High risk is high reward. In fact, Bob Mayer, who's a great friend of mine who owns this hotel, his father, who created the Mayer Corporation, has a book in the Starbucks over there. It's all about risk. And he said it. That's his memoir. That's his give it back to the world. This is my wish upon when I'm not here anymore. I want people to take risks. This wasn't built by not taking risks. Network is not built. You have to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to advance. You will never advance. That's the name of this conference. You're not going to advance by being comfortable. I am not comfortable right now, right? Like I'm speaking to 150 people. It's stressful, okay? I want to make sure I do a good job. There's a lot, but watch how much I advance after this. So think about your own way of taking risk, but be responsible. Don't do anything careless that could jeopardize your career or the brand or you as an individual, as a family person, but take risk because high risk is high reward. Dick Marconi taught me that. He was the founder of Global Health Sciences and made billions with Herbalife. A few more recommendations on building the ultimate network. Build a contact list. Email addresses are great. Treat people the way that you would want to be treated. Take advantage of helping others in need and have a polished portfolio. So those are the key things that are important. And one bit of advice that my father gave me, he said, son, you need to go to Toastmasters. I was so excited because I thought it was a beer drinking club. I walked in there and I was stunned. I had no idea what I was getting into. And it taught me how to speak. And I was 18 years old at the time. And within a year, I became Toastmaster of the Year. I still have that plaque. I'm really, really proud of that because speaking, whether it's one-on-one, 1 on 100, 1 on a million, doesn't matter. You got to be comfortable. You got to be persuasive. You got to be able to get your message across. And those sort of things, Toastmasters teaches you. They make you go on stage and they say, tell me why this chair is brown and made out of wood. And you have to answer that within 60 seconds, and you can't go over 90 seconds. And you cannot say or and you have to persuade everyone in there. And they have those beautiful Toastmaster ribbons there because that's what you want. You want that gold ribbon. And you have to do that, and you practice, and you also build community. So Toastmasters is very valuable, not just for you, but your children. I've already talked to my daughter and son, like, Toastmasters is key. It'll change your life. And I'm a great advocate for them because it changed mine. Eat well and travel. What does that have to do with network? You're going to feel better. You're going to have something to talk about. So what you put in your body reflects your network, believe it or not. What you eat, if you take the time to analyze everything you put into your body, as we get older too, that becomes ever so important. Non-GMO, is the food clean? What's the environment like? You don't have to go fine dining at a Michelin-rated restaurant. I'm talking about just the basic food that you eat. And the travel, whether it's personal or business, take some time to do something where you're at, okay? If you're going really fast to a city and then coming right back, you're not doing yourself growth, okay? Try and take some time. I'm going to Portland right after this with my family, and then we're going to Seattle. I'm going there for business, but I'm really making it personal. We're going to go on a hike. We're going to go to the Space Needle. We're going to go visit some friends at Amazon. We're going to do the things that we're going to do because travel builds network. Because when I go to Seattle and I have some experience in Bellevue and I run into somebody that I just met here and we talk about Bellevue, we're going to grow deeper because we have things in common with that travel experience. So keep that in mind. That's something really that's worked well. And just a few other things, industry events. Ted, you and I had a great time at NAOP. No one was hanging out with us, so we gave away, what did we give away? We gave away some like iPad or, Apple Watch. We became the most popular two people. It was amazing. Give it away for free, it works. Build your own professional organization. So I built the IMA, right? There was the DMA, the BMA, the PRSA. There were all these marketing associations, and I thought, I could do it better. Even if just one person, my parents were the first two members, by the way. And it was great. And my dad was always threatening to leave the organization. I'm like, no, you got to stay. And now it's over 1 million, right? So I'm a thought leader in my own industry. And the other associations now I'm looking at acquiring, right? These are the established organizations. Reach out to alumni. We all went to college somewhere, okay? And I think it's important to really look into your alumni network because they're a part of your DNA. They're going to be there for you. You'll be there for them. And LinkedIn. Ever since Microsoft bought LinkedIn, it's become a magnet for growth, for thought leadership. I'm always posting on LinkedIn. It's a fantastic way to share my strengths in my professional network, and that will help you build. I'm transitioning now from how to build a network and ending with the new frontier, okay? I'm traveling literally the world right now talking about the growth industry sectors for the GDP. That's gonna matter to Ware Malcomb. There's a reindustrialization revolution going on in America that is not by chance. It is a mandate from the White House. Whether you like him or not, Donald Trump is a businessman. He wants people to manufacture in the United States. Yesterday, Tim Cook announced not $500 billion, he added another $100 billion. $600 billion. A lot of manufacturing is coming to the US. That is a mandate. There's lots of strategic reasons that start with security and defense. We cannot just rely on our adversaries or other countries to supply us the heart of our business, okay? That is a chip on a motherboard. Those sort of things are things to take a look at. So I spend a lot of time in the administration and I listen. I don't give advice, I listen. I listen to what they're doing and then I pass it along to my friends. The 5 growth sectors of GDP coming from Kathy Wood's ARK Invest, she was with me at Mar-a-Lago in November when she presented this, still holds true. Artificial intelligence, robotics and reindustrialization, life sciences and genomics, biotech, blockchain, and energy. These are trillion-dollar contributors to the GDP that are happening in North America, where Malcolm is poised. I just interviewed 26-year-old dropout. See, he can't reach out to his alumni because he doesn't have alumni. But Valor Atomics, modular nuclear reactors. I mean, how are you gonna create energy, right? Solar won't work. The grid is maxed out, it's expensive. Yet China is throwing out hundreds of modular nuclear reactors. We can't even get one approved through the bureaucracy of our government. So it's people like Isaiah that I bring to my events to talk about alternative energy, nuclear, quantum, and the new frontier. It's happening, and this is happening right out of Hawthorne, California. And then we had healthcare, AI, and genomics in the new frontier. Dr. Jin Lee out of Stanford talk about the digital twin, taking your brain, studying it in real-time AI, and then connecting that to drug discovery. The big pharma companies don't like her because she's able to reduce that development costs by 90%. It's a real thing happening. So these are the type of thought leaders. And then I bring senators, and I'm friends with Republicans and Democrats. But I talk about what's going on in blockchain. How are you getting this legislation through? How does blockchain have anything to do with Ware Malcomb? It has a lot. Because to mine 1 Bitcoin, you need like 10 of these hotels filled with data centers and racks. And who's gonna design that? You guys, okay? This is your biggest opportunity right now is this administration. And then this guy, Larry Armstrong, started with the book, of course, Layered Leadership, which I learned a lot, and we passed around to our entire global network, but we also touched on reindustrialization. The DNA in an Amazon facility, a lot of people say, oh yeah, those things are so easy to pop up. It's like the most complex thing in the world that you guys are actually the DNA of what makes the package come to your house in a click. Every time I get an Amazon package, it's not Amazon that should get the credit, okay? Space. Space is a $2 trillion contributor. I got to go to Venice, Italy. This was amazing. Type 1 Ventures, this is the largest venture capital company we're a partner with. They are the seed investor also in OpenAI, which just posted a $300 billion valuation. So they're big on space, okay? And I'm like, what, Prada's doing the spacesuit. I'm like, come on guys, like seriously? Like that's what you're doing? And they said, well, that's not a suit. I got like taken down quick on my comment. They said, that's a vehicle. That's a $4 billion NASA project. That's gonna help us get to Mars and walk around. So my respect for what they're doing in space with Axiom Space, with SpaceX, there's a lot of R&D. From semiconductors to healthcare to cancer research, space is something to take very seriously, and there's a bunch of sub-markets. Just think about the Golden Dome, okay? That's nearing $1 trillion when you look at all the services and the length of that. That's a Ware Malcomb project because that's defense related and it's gonna need industrial supply and warehousing to support. And of course, healthcare, okay? So what's it like to be Chipotle and to take GMO out of your product and really do farm to table across all your restaurants around the world? And Scott disclosed their $78 billion valuation. They're opening 1 store a day in North America. That's not even their international expansion. Their largest competitor, you could probably guess, is Cava. They're coming out of nowhere. They're trying to take Chipotle out. It's fun watching this game because they're both taking a non-GMO approach. And now all the other fast food and fast casual will be like, we need to be like them. So you can reinvent yourself, you can reinvent your industry just by taking bold moves like that. I've also been befriending governors, Republican, Democrat. The states are going to be the ones leading a lot of these decisions. And Vivek Ramaswamy in Ohio, if you notice Palmer Luckey is right there. He always wears a Hawaiian shirt, so it's easy to spot him. So I'm sitting over here, this Palmer, there's Vivek. We're having dinner a few weeks ago. And we're talking about the billions of dollars going into Ohio, okay? because Social Security is irrelevant. The tax system is irrelevant. And Vivek, who's a self-made billionaire, is looking at it from a business approach and saying, hey, we want to build factories, we want to build facilities, we want to build space, we want to build defense. We want Ohio to be the example, and it's Ware Malcomb that will be the Intel chip inside. Development opportunities start with the top of admin. This guy right here, Tom O'Leary, great guy, he has a company called Jet Zero. So in Long Beach, they just got the largest government appropriation in the history of our country, North Carolina, over $300 million, to come to our state and build your factory. We're just going to give you all that money up front. So their investors put the capital on top. If you look at Jet Zero, you could just Google it. It's a new form of an aircraft, passenger aircraft. And there's also a freight version of that called Nautilus. And Nautilus is one of our sponsors of our conference in DC. And this is going to completely change the game of flying. Like, I'm going to fly right now on Alaska Airlines. I'm not looking forward to that at all. But this plane that they're building, I would be so excited about it, okay? I mean, the body, the width of it is like this room. You could put 800 passengers. You fly higher, 60% of the cost because of the efficiency. So take a look at it. It's very interesting, but those are the sort of things. I'll end with what I'm doing in Washington, D.C., just for fun. We've created a conference at the Hay Adams October 5th through the 8th where we're taking leaders of the new frontier and connecting them with policymakers. And we're honored to have Ware Malcomb at the table during our reindustrialization panel. This is real stuff. The admin is looking for us to define tomorrow. They're not just coming up with the rule book. They're saying, let's come up with the rules together, and we're honored to do that. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like really quick in this short video, and then we'll go into questions.
Sinan Kanatsiz, talking to you about Impact 25 happening in Washington, D.C. Never has my network been stronger than it is now, not just in corporate America, worldwide, but also in our nation's capital. We'll be hosting a 3-day summit called Impact 25, where leaders of the new frontier meet with policymakers. We'll be staying at the stunning Hay Adams Hotel. This is an 18th century hotel that has stayed 5 stars since the day it opened. All of our guests will be staying there, have a welcome dinner. Our conference will be at the top of the Hay with a backdrop of the beautiful White House and the Washington Monument. Following, we'll be taking everyone to a very private, exclusive dinner, which I can't even tell you on this video. And then after that, we're going to be going to Off the Record, which is the underground famous bar of the Hay Adams. The following day, on the 7th of October, we'll be picked up in a luxury bus, taken to the Pentagon, then to the Capitol, and then the White House. We have some amazing, awesome experiences set up, but also, importantly, policymakers that are going to be meeting with us that are locals in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., and then the office of our Senate and Congress. We have the House Speaker Johnson that's helping us out, and others all around. So for years, we've been supporting so many wonderful people that are now in office, and they're going to be meeting with our delegates that are coming to Impact 25. I hope you can join us. Go to impact25.live to register. Thank you.
So with that, I present to you just how to build a network and just some finishing thoughts and homework assignment. Because what I don't want to do is just speak to you. I want to speak with you. I want to hear your questions, and I want to give you a homework assignment, okay? So the human connection again, right? To build that power network is find the human connection, find something you have in touch. Relationships are not sales transactions, okay? We got to get into the heart, get into the soul, get into the personal side. Trust is earned by delivering. One thing that I always try to do is when Mo says, hey, Sinan, how many PR placements can you get us? I'm going to say, I'm going to get you like 2, even though I know I'm going to get like 10. So under promise, over deliver. If you could build a reputation like that on personal, professional, that's going to go a long way in building your network. Deliver value without expecting a return. So for every 5 holiday cards you send out, don't expect any to come back. But over time, it's going to be at par, and then over time, you're going to get more holiday cards than you're sending out. Have that long-term vision on building relationships. And the call to action. So I want to just do kind of an exercise. I've never done this before, but I just want to kind of try this, okay? So by a show of hands, okay, you are doing something in your trade, your industry, and you feel like a thought leader, and you want to share that with others. By a show of hands right now, does that represent you? Just put your hands up if that's you. You're doing something in your industry. Okay, now look at the people with their hands up. The people with their hands up, look around. Those are the people you want to connect with, okay? That's really important to understand. Find that like-minded thing. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm in PR and that person's in PR. I could have nothing in common. You would be surprised. There is no competitiveness. There's a consistency. There's something in common. So it's those sort of things that I would lead with to kind of find and connect with. And the homework assignment that I give you is make a list of 5 people that you want to expand your inner circle with, and then 5 people on the outer side, and then 5 people that are dormant, that are like dead weight. They don't call you back, they don't talk to you, but you still aspire to be with them, okay? And then reach out to them. Suggest coffee, suggest things that make it easy on them. To me, Zoom is a relationship killer. Email is a relationship killer. Phone call is a relationship killer. You can't build, just impossible. Human connectivity is the only way to grow. Find a way to be in front of them and be present. When you're out on a business trip to go meet client X, think about Y and Z. Think about other things you can do there just as a touch point. I'm going to Seattle, I'm meeting with 5 people for no reason. I don't know what's gonna come from it, but I aspire to be in their presence. And I know something will come from that. So think like that, and I'm gonna check in with you guys in 3 months, see how that's going. My contact information is up there. Email address, I love LinkedIn, and I love you, and thank you for your time. This is the part where you applaud thunderously. Yeah, thank you so much. And I got to say, just in closing too, I've had 2,000 clients, right? There are a few that I can think of that has a people culture like Ware Malcomb. What you guys have as a family, you're so lucky because we get one opportunity in life. You're not going to like everyone. Not everything's going to be perfect, but your culture is so good. So I credit you guys. Ted, I'm going to throw it over to you, and I'll do whatever you want me to do for the next few minutes.
I think we have some time for a few questions. And while you're thinking of it, I have one burning question I've been wanting to ask you. You were knighted. Do you have a big sword?
Right. So from what I know, there's like 4 countries that knight, right? England, France, Austria, Italy. And that was, again, like completely out of the blue. Someone nominated me. They liked me. I think they thought I was Italian. I'm not. I'm Turkish. So like, so I'm like, okay, let's do this. You know, I'm expecting like the queen, you know, like this knighting and stuff. It's not like that in Italy. You go to a university. There was about 2,000 people there. Brought my whole family and, you know, about 14 of us in the delegation. And the prince calls you up, Prince Emanuele de Savoia, which is of the Royal House of Savoy. And then they pledge you with the honors, which is this beautifully framed you know, certificate, and then this is my rosette. And I have other medals. I'm just more on the, you know, keep it chill. But there's some of the knights and dames, which is the female, you know, version of that, that come out like, you know, like medals and everything. So there's a lot of history with the royal house. There's a lot of wars. There's a lot of, you know, great stories. And I've actually subsequently gotten about 6 people knighted and dames. So I'm active with those guys. But yeah, there's a story.
Awesome. That's great. Questions?
Yes, sir. And maybe you say who you are and, like, you know.
Hey, my name is Daniel, and I have a burning question. What is a more important characteristic, confidence or humility?
Okay, so that's a great one. Humility will be discovered over time. You're never going to know that right out of the gate. Confidence, you know immediately. When someone walks into the room, you don't know if they're like full of it or if they're real. But the confidence, you'll know right away. And I think with confidence, you never want to railroad somebody into a corner. You don't want to be talking all the time. You want to be confident, pull back, listen, ask questions, make eye contact, write it down. That to me is your greatest balance. I do think what's more important over time, I think it's humility. Because there are people that are dead silent in my life that don't really say anything. They don't exude confidence, but I'm attracted to them because they're so humble. So that's what I would do. Yeah, humble and then confidence. Anyone else? I'm giving away an Apple Watch for the best question. It's his, though. Yes.
You know, you talk about connecting with a lot of people, seeing a picture of somebody you wanted to meet. Can you give us an example of where you had a really hard challenge to connect with somebody, and like kind of how did you approach it and break through it?
That's a great one. You know, I think if you get into a point where you're stalking somebody, you're going to know it on your own. Don't go in that lane. I've been there, and I kind of realized it. That's why it's so great to be married, because my wife will remind me of it sometimes. But I think be in a room, be in the presence of someone that you want to connect with at some level. It could be a conference, it could be a convention, it could be a small dinner or something to that effect, where you're in their presence. Because again, emailing them, LinkedIning them, having someone else do the work for you is lazy, and it's not going to net out anything. Even if that person responds, your relationship is going to stay dull. Find a way to be in their presence without being the stalker. And then find a way to be in front of them. And then exchange contact information. This is where it gets a little bit stalkerish. I've done this many times. It's a gray area. Take a selfie with them, okay? Now, it's weird when like an executive's like, you want a selfie with me? I'm like, nobody, I have no notoriety. The reason why that's important, this has paid off in huge dividends for me, is because I'll reach out to that person as they grow, and I'll say, hey, you remember when we met at that conference in Miami? Boom, throw the photo in there. And then it draws a human connection, and then the result is gonna be different. So there's been countless, I can't just think of one because there's so many, I'm constantly doing it, where there are people that I wanna network with or be in the presence of, and those are the tactics that I use. Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, Michael.
How do you show at a live event, right, meeting people, how do you write down information in your head? For later? How do you write it down without writing it down?
Right, and that's a great point. I whip out my phone and I send myself an email. I think very, very soon, I mean, Sam Altman has many, many, many patents that are coming out. He hired the guy who made the iPhone. You're gonna have an agent that's living next to you that's invisible. So that question right there will be answered because it's gonna note take for you. It's gonna already create the follow-up. It's already gonna categorize it. So if you find yourself in situations where you're forgetting something that someone important to you is trying to tell you or convey to you, then write it down. You know, write a little note. Like I have a notepad, it's really small. Larry always carries around this little tiny, I bet you he's got it on him. He's like, he looks so smart. He puts on his glasses, he takes out this cool pen, and then he takes notes. I'm like, wow, like he's really interested in the content. That's respect. And it's okay if you put out your phone and you send yourself a note. What I'll always tell people too is I'm taking notes, because if you bring your phone out, people might think you're on Instagram or you're just like goofing off, right? So show them the courtesy and remind them, I'm just taking notes about our conversation. And always get their email address. That's the easiest way. Cell phone, that's a little creeper. However, I've gone there many times. Like, hey, just give me your cell. And that's the best way to get to the next step. So hopefully that answers some of that. Anyone else? Maybe like one or two? Yes, ma'am. Hi, Carol. Nice to meet you.
And I have a question. What are some of your go-to like icebreaker questions that aren't the everyday, like how was your weekend kind of thing?
That's a great question. So icebreaker question is, this is the best. This is where I'm like I've mastered it. Constantly I'm being introduced to people, or like I want to get in contact with somebody, or someone introduces me to someone. What's the first thing I ask them? What city are you from? What city are you from? As soon as you said Chicago, there's all these things I can talk to you about. Okay, Chi-Town, let's go.
Yeah.
So to me, it's start with the city. And that's why travel comes into place. Because if you've traveled there, you can bring up some connection, and then they get super excited to talk to you. When they get excited, that's when trust starts to happen. Psychology is kicking in. Try to connect on where are you from, where's your city, what that, and then a second one is like, what's your passion? What's your passion? And go back into that personal. Is it your children? Is it your cars? Is it your yoga? Is it your Pilates? Is it your pet? Hone in on that. That icebreaker was not just something to fill in the void, but now it gives you an opportunity to grow the relationship deeper. Great question. One more? Back there, Mr. Wink.
You're always being very interesting to me. What is the first thing, I guess, the first thing that you share? I think everybody's sitting here saying, what's the first thing I would bring up about myself to share to someone I maybe don't know? What is your maybe first number one thing that you would share that you think makes you more interesting or memorable?
So for me personally, what is the first thing that I would share to make myself memorable is really about my passion in life, which is to help others without expecting anything in return. So my mission in life to the day I die is to make an impact on others, whether I know them or not, doesn't matter. And that's my life mission statement. And the deeper you get with what drives you to a person that you just met, or maybe that's known you for a while, is gonna grow the connection even deeper. So every one of us have a life purpose or mission that not all of us are gonna agree with, but everyone's gonna respect. And the more you understand that, and I think that's a great question, Ken, that's your life agenda. No matter what you're doing for Ware Malcomb, no matter what you're doing for your family, no matter what you're doing for your friends and community, you have to think about number one, who you are, what makes you and what is driving you to where you wanna go, and share that with your community. Remind people on social media, remind people in your personal network. That's important because we only get one shot at that. Great ending. All right, awesome. I'm done.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.